Welcome to the Bridge the Gap DFS YouTube channel. Really appreciate everybody that checked out last week's video series, and I think that's what we'll do moving forward. Is each week I'll do a new series on a topic, something that I get some feedback and responses or questions about. We'll cover something, we'll learn something, and then we'll hop into the mailbag section and do some more specific deep dives. So we'll go topic by topic. I'll break this out like I did last week, a couple minutes at a time. That way you can stop or come back or watch different segments. Nobody wants to watch me for an hour at a time, including myself. So we'll just break this up in small bites. No pun intended. You guys had quite the appetite last week for baseball DFS. Pun intended. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive in on what has worked for me in the past. This is something that I use and still use, and it's tested. It works. So if you're jammed up in your baseball process, this might help you. So we want to keep things as simple as possible. When I got to thinking about what demonstrates simplicity at its finest, it's definitely In-N-Out. For all of my East Coast friends out there, or anybody that has never eaten at In-N-Out, it's phenomenal. It's a burger joint out here. They haven't changed their menu in like 70 years, and it's not worth paying the high taxes to live in California, but it's pretty close. So this is the In-N-Out approach to MLB DFS. How all you need to know about MLB DFS you can learn from In-N-Out. So before we hop into the lesson, we'll just do a quick review of some of our recent videos. Last week we did the MLB deep dive. Prior to that, I did a 15-minute video on some of the hacks and shortcuts to MLB DFS. Did a shout-out tribute video to Jonathan Bell's, some of the principles that I've learned from his videos and how that applies to my game today. And then I'm always preaching about Bankroll. If you guys have never seen the Bankroll management videos, I did almost an hour on Bankroll management. It's the number one thing holding players back. It's the number one thing that held me back. Once I got my bankroll management dialed in, it's been all systems go. Everything clicks when you're managing your bankroll properly. So, and you'll definitely want to do that, especially in a sport like DFS, MLB, because there's so much variance, so many swings. On Thursday night, got a lot of runs from the team that I was on. The next 10 slates, I lost 8 out of 10 because I wasn't getting any runs. So that's just going to happen. It stinks, but it doesn't affect you if you're properly managing your bankroll. So we'll get into this week's lesson. So starting with the menu, this is an actual photo of the menu that they have at In-N-Out. It's incredibly simple. Burger, fries, drink, and how you want to combine those things. So we'll go through step by step, and we'll relate to how the menu applies to the MLB process. Simple menu, awesome meal. We're going to have a simple approach and awesome results. And again, I'm never going to tell you guys something that myself have not used, have not had success with. This is something that works, I promise you. If you continue to dial it in the way that you like it, I promise this will yield very positive results for you guys. So another thing that we're going to do is just observe the menu. It's simple, it's very efficient, it's delicious, lots of great options on there, makes you hungry, and when you're done eating your meal, you're satisfied. So hopefully we can achieve those things with our MLB process. So let's start with the simplicity. You should have a checklist of things that you want to do every day. And I don't want to overwhelm you guys, so I created the checklist for you, and it's really simple. You want to lock in your settings, you want to lock in your pitcher settings, you want to get your stacks, you want to run your crunch, and you want to combine your work. And we'll go step by step over all of those things, and we'll just go through the checklist. Everything on this Google document is for you guys. I called it the MLB Starter Pack. Send me an email, hit me up on Twitter, however you guys want to get in touch with me. I'll get you access to this so you can have everything, and we'll go tab by tab so you know everything that's in here. And this should really simplify your process and make your life a heck of a lot easier so you can focus on becoming a better player and not knowing how to even get started. On the menu, the settings, you go to the drive-thru, you're going to order your burger. What do you want to complement that with? You're getting a drink, you're complementing your lineups with your pitchers. How are you going to order your meal? Are you just going to get a burger, or are you going to stack it up with some combinations of a burger and fries, 2 burgers, double stack? Do you want a double-double? You want 2 stacks? Phillies over Reds, Marlins over Orioles. How are you going to build your lineups? You're going to crunch, and then you're going to place your order. And if you want a combo order, get a double meal, grilled onions, protein style. It's amazing. So first with the settings. So you're in the drive-thru. You're deciding what you're going to eat, and this is some of the back end work. I'll usually start this about an hour before a slate starts. Baseball, there's not a lot of last minute news, but I just don't like feeling rushed. So I'll start nice and early, get everything locked in, and we'll just go step by step. So let's go to Fantasy Cruncher, and we will go to MLB. And this is today's slate, Tuesday, April 30th. I've already got my projections in. So when it comes to projections, again, we talked about this in previous videos. I have SaberSim loaded in there, but if you wanted to use Fantasy Cruncher or Daily Rotos, you can certainly do that. So we have Fantasy Cruncher loaded up. So if you want to remove the projections, we have SaberSim loaded up, but let's say you wanted to say, you know what, I don't want to pay for two sites. Fantasy Cruncher's projections they'll do the trick. So just remove projections. You'll get the default projections. So you see Fantasy Cruncher projection matches my projection, and you're all set. So game filter, we had 2 rainouts today, so I unchecked those games. In your advanced options, depending on what you want to do, here's your uniques. So if you're running 2 teams, I would recommend doing 1 or 2 uniques. If you're going all in on 1 team, I'd recommend doing 3 or 4 uniques. And on your stacking tool, we will focus on doing 2 stacks. So when I say setting up your settings, this is what I mean. So before I even start, I've gone in, I've adjusted my uniques. So we're going to run 2 stacks. We'll drop this down to 1. Got our stacking tool, got a 5/3. I like a 5/3 stacks. Feel like that gives you a lot of upside. Got our player pool checked. So we'll go ahead and check that box that we're good to go. That piece has been satisfied. I like color coordinating stuff. So good to go. Our settings are locked in. We'll go ahead and stop the video here as we covered quite a bit. We'll do the rest of the steps in the next segments, but I really want to keep these at about 10 minutes each. So appreciate you guys stopping by. Let's dig in on much more coming right up.